Good evening, Melbourne. Welcome to the show. I'm Michael Kuzilny. It's tough times on a Wednesday night, and thank you very much for tuning in every Wednesday night and listening to our wonderful guests on the couch. And thank you very much for coming up on the street and saying g'day and sharing your problems. And remember, tough times never last, but tough people do. And as human beings, I think the older we get, the more problems we're going to accumulate. You know, first there's the problems at school, not fitting in sometimes. Then there's the relationship problems. You might be going through a divorce or separation. Depression, alcohol, and then of course you get adults bullying as well. A lovely lady on the couch, a gorgeous human being, Amanda Thorburn. She's 25 now, tried to take her life 2 years ago by jumping off a bridge. She's been through the mental health system for 10 years, but she's a lovely girl and she's found her independence. Thanks for coming on, Amanda.
Thank you very much for having me.
What a lovely, confident girl you are, and it's amazing how human beings can cause so much stress in our minds, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's extreme that the human race and just a general human being can, mess with your mind and just mess with you as a person so much.
And I think, Amanda, it's people who feel insecure, and then as soon as they get somebody nice or a little bit different from the crowd, that's when they start putting people down. And you experienced that, God bless you, as a child at school. You know, people thought you were a little bit different.
Yeah, I was always classed as just being different and just being odd because I had my own values and beliefs and they didn't fit in with what was popular at that time. So I couldn't be an individual. I couldn't really stand out for what I believed in because it wasn't right, it wasn't the trend. So it's pretty much bullied until you shut up sort of thing. So
did the bullying get really bad?
Yeah, it did. I did year 7 and 8 at one school, and then it just got out of control, and then my parents had to move me to another school, and for the first year it was okay, and then it just sort of came back again and just got a whole lot worse.
Try to recall, what did some of the kids do, or what do they say?
Oh, some of the kids just used to throw rocks at you and push you and just, I don't know, just say how dumb you were or how stupid you looked in certain clothes and how your hair was done and that you weren't worthwhile to be here, and just generally do anything that they knew would get to you, and if you tried not to let it get you, they just try even harder. And
it's quite disgraceful, isn't it? And that sort of behaviour doesn't only, you know, some children grow up and they wake up to themselves and think, God, I was a real idiot as a child, but some children continue that path and they become adult bullies and they become backstabbers and live like that all their lives. It's quite appalling, isn't it?
It is appalling because, okay, you can understand when you're growing up, you want to fit in, you want to be with the cool kids, you want to, have friends, but to not grow out of it and to not really mature and become an adult and see that everybody is important and you have to be respectful, then it's shocking because I see some of my friends and they're like, oh, I'm sorry for what I've done, I've changed and all this sort of thing, but I don't know whether they ever really do and whether they ever really, when they say I'm sorry, whether they ever really mean it.
That's so right, viewers, isn't it? We've got to really wake up to ourselves and remember that we're not here. Life's not a competition of how many friends we can get or how cool we can be or how much money we can build up. We really have to start living on a creative plane, and I think the best thing you can do in life is become an individual and become independent towards the opinions of other people, because you'll have your bullies everywhere. As soon as you're a little bit different and you break away from the crowd, people are going to come down and try to change you. People get very scared when you break away from the crowd. That's why you always find the unique people in life have always been achieved such amazing things. And it got so bad that you tried to kill yourself, God bless you. And what did you do there?
I jumped 8 metres off a bridge and I suffered injuries to both my legs and I broke my back, and I spent 7.5 months in a wheelchair not ever knowing whether I was going to walk, and I have had 9 operations so far and still have bone grafting to go. And I just didn't see any purpose anymore. I just thought, nah, there's no point. What is life when I'm not accepted for who I am and people just don't want to know me because they don't like me or they don't like one thing about me. So I just ended up saying, nah, this is it, I'm going. And I'm the first one to admit it was a mistake, but it's made me a better person today than what I would have ever been if I hadn't have experienced the suicide attempt.
It was your life journey. It was life's a personal exploration, isn't it? And
Yeah.
you got to that point, and quite often people say hardship is a prelude to happiness, and you are getting happy, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm awful. I'm not on antidepressants anymore, so
No.
I'm just grateful for what I have, and I see so much beauty inside of other people now that I just thought was ugliness, and I see something that I've never been able to see for my whole life because I've opened my eyes up to it.
That's lovely.
And yeah, it's just...
It sounds like you've really started owning yourself, and
Yeah.
And being your best mate. That's very important, isn't it?
Yeah, and I've just learned to accept the good and the bad about me, and I am who I am, and if people can't accept that, then that's their loss, really.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of viewers are going through the same thing at home, being ridiculed, thinking not to fit in. But remember, say to yourself 10 times every day, I am what I am, I am what I am, and always try to be different. You know, there's this thing called the politics of numbers. We've always got to be a member of a certain group. That's why people feel so secure when they've got many groups, but you get stuff all the groups, you know. It's good to be in groups, but we don't need the groups. You come here by yourself, and you're going to die by yourself, and
Yeah.
and all the people who come along are just teachers, aren't they?
Yep, it's, you can, you know, people can show you stuff and people can educate you, but you take your own journey in life and you take that step out to what you feel comfortable and what you want to do, and that's what's important, just doing what makes you happy.
Yeah.
And the true beauty, you'll find true beauty on the inside, that people can say that you're ugly on the outside, but if you look inside yourself, that's where it's beautiful.
It's a beautiful
Yeah.
journey, yeah.
Yeah.
And family life was all good when you grew up, or was that wasn't the best either, was it?
That wasn't the best either. There were up and downs times with my family, and still is today. And I know I've got 2 older brothers, a mum and a dad, and we probably have a few disagreements that we shouldn't really have. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it wasn't the best, and my relationships are still pretty rocky with them, and I don't take anything for granted with them anymore. But
No.
yeah, I have an amazing boyfriend, and I've been going out 7 months, so
Wow.
I'm grateful for that, and he's accepted me from the start. Not a lot of people are aware of my suicide attempt because it's sort of been hush-hush, and people were just told, oh, I went bushwalking and I fell, and that's pretty much what it's been, because my family don't want to tell them the truth, and
We
I
might
don't want
talk
to.
about that after the next, but thank you very much for sharing. And it's tough times on Wednesday night in Melbourne. We'll be back very shortly.